Welcome to part 5 of the tutorial series Guitar Pro 6 for drummers. Today I'll show you how to make it look good. For example, if you want to transcribe a song of your band and print it or publish it as a PDF file. For that purpose I created a new example song with an intro in the beginning, a verse, a chorus, a guitar solo without drums in the middle. The drums come back in here, then there's a little bridge into the verse again, the chorus, and an outro. It's not very clear now, but we'll change that. At first I want to show you some features that make working itself a little easier. For example, F11 for a full screen mode, especially if you have a little smaller screen that gives you a better overview, but you lose the menu bar up here. Next there is the zoom feature. Down here, pretty self-explanatory, I think. You can change the display mode if you want to have more pages or no pages. That is better for writing the groove. If we want to change the layout, I think 1 or 2 pages is the best option. Let's start with the actual score info. Press F5, type in the title, subtitle, your band name, the album, the one who wrote the lyrics, the one who wrote the music, copyright, tabs if you just tapped it out and the song is by someone else. Instructions specify the mood in which the song should be played. Usually for classics there is something like con moto, scherzando, vivace, but for rock you could type in eager or powerful, but that isn't so commonly used. And the remarks are just for yourself, they won't be displayed. Now you can see where all that is shown. The copyright will be displayed down here, but that can be changed up as well, and I can show you all that in the end. To organize the groove, I wrote down the sticking over here. I used the text feature I showed you in the previous episode, just T, and you can type in your sticking for complicated parts. Then there is a voices feature down here. You can select 4 voices, and for each track you can split things up. For example, this first verse groove, the first 2 bars are all just in one voice, meaning all the notes are connected with one stem. After that I separated the hands from the foot, so you got the hands up here and the foot, the bass drum, in voice 2. So there are those rests, and if you click show all voices, the rests are gone. And this is the thing I showed you in episode 1, where we ticked this one. If we untick it, it looks like this, which is not that pleasant. You can as well separate the right hand or the leading hand from the up and down beat, or you could assign everything to a separate track, which gets pretty messy, but we can clean that up as well. Select just voice 2 and mark those notes here. Then go over here where you can manage the beams. First we break them, and we can then again connect these 2 by force the beams. If you want to have it as it was in the beginning, just click auto and it will restore that. Well, it still overlaps, but we can fix that as well. Again, mark them, and over here you can invert the stems to point down. Let's see, now it's a little better. But for this particular groove I think this one is the best. But as you can see, there are different options and you can just try which one suits you best. To edit the voices quickly, just mark them and go up here, tools, move or swap voices, and I'm in voice 1 now, and you can select to move it to a different voice, copy it there, or swap it with a different voice. By that you can create those different variations. If you wrote it down all in one at first, you can copy it to a different voice and delete the notes you don't want to keep. As you can see, the song starts off with a pickup bar. Right now the program doesn't know that. To edit the voices quickly, just mark them and go up here, tools, move or swap voices, and I'm in voice 1 now, and you can select to move it to a different voice. By that you can create those different variations. If you wrote it down all in one at first, you can copy it to a different voice and delete the notes you don't want to keep. As you can see, the song starts off with a pickup bar. Right now the program doesn't know that. So we would have to insert rests before that, but that doesn't look too good. So just click the bar, go up here, bar, and choose anacrusis. And now it's the way it should be. To make the transcription more convenient to read, we can add simile marks to be found here or under bar simile mark where you see the shortcuts as well. Just find a bar that repeats or a 2-bar phrase like here in the verse. Choose the notation you like the most. For me it was this one. And now we can replace the following with the simile mark, which is easier to read. Let's work on the overall structure now. In the beginning, this part repeats twice, so we can add a repetition mark in the beginning and in the end here. Yes, twice. So we can delete this one. It just changes up a little because there are 2 crashes added here. So we mark this one as the first ending and the one after that as the second variation. So it runs from here through the first bar again and into the second bar here and transitions into the verse. To separate the parts of the song, we can add a double bar line manually, but we can as well press Shift Insert to name the section, like the verse here and the drum intro in the beginning. Chorus, the guitar solo, into the funky bridge, back into the verse, one more chorus, and the outro. Now that we have the general structure, we can reduce this song even more. The verse is 8 bars long and consists of a 2-bar phrase that is repeated 4 times, just the last repetition is a little different. The chorus is 8 bars long as well. It changes a little, but that can be covered with alternate endings. The guitar solo is 16 bars long and will be simplified in the next step. The funky bridge is 12 bars long. It's a 4-bar phrase that repeats twice, and in the third repetition, the last 2 bars are different. Finally, the outro is repeated thrice, and after that, the ending is a little bit different as well. To shorten the guitar solo, either press Ctrl R or go up to bar and select multi-rest. That will shorten the guitar solo just to this. We can insert a timer before that as well and after, so you know how much time you have to grab a drink. I think actually it's for big orchestral pieces where you have like half an hour of rest in between, just to know how much time you got. Let's insert a fermata at the end of the verse to create some tension that will be released when the chorus kicks in. A fermata makes the note longer as the measure would usually permit. Let's head over to the funky bridge now. As you can see, there is a over the bar line syncopation. To enhance that visually, we could add a note here and tie it so it's not hit again, but that makes it visually clear that the hi-hat rings over the bar line. And there is one here as well. To shorten the sheet even further, we can use some of those directions. Insert a sign here in the beginning of the verse, and then we go to the end of the bridge, select Disegno, which basically brings us back to this sign. So we can delete the verse and chorus here. after we ran through the chorus the second time, we need to skip to the end. So let's insert a Dakota here and put the Dakota sign to the outro. Well, that's basically it. See you on the next video.